All right, hey everyone, my name is Ashin and welcome to another episode of Football Diaries by Sports KPI. And here we have Nihar Manirama with us. Nihar, why don't you just introduce yourself?
I'm Nihaar Manirama representing FAB. I'm 15 years old and born in 2006. I have played for FAB for nearly 4 years and I have recently been awarded the Best Defender in the KSFA 2020-21 season.
All right, perfect. Congrats on that, Nihar. So why
Thank
don't we
you.
start right away, right? What was your first memory uh, playing football? Like, when did you start, and who was the one that gave you your initial push?
I was around 8 years old when I used to play various kinds of sports in my apartment as well as in my school, namely swimming, cricket, throw ball, volleyball. But I used to play these sports for recreational purposes. Around this time,
Okay.
I had also started playing football with my neighbors who were 4 to 5 years elder than me. So this was when I was fascinated by the way they played football, and this game was much more likable to me compared to any other sports. So slowly I got interested to this, and then I joined my first club, which is called the UFC, where we trained in the public ground. This was my first ever
Okay.
club.
And was like, did any particular person have an influence on you? Like, did you see a friend of you? Like, was there a friend who asked you to come play with him, or was it just that you saw them on the streets and you're like, okay, let me try this out?
No, these people who were 4 to 5 years elder than me, they were 3, 4 boys. So then I asked them if I could play with them because every day I used to watch them play and get interested in it because I've never played the sport before. So then I asked them a couple of times and then they took me in and then later on I got interested with it.
So how was that? Like, do you find that initial difference because they were older to you, right? So did you find that okay, it was not as easy as it looks? One, because it's not an easy sport, and two, because you are playing against players who are, or I would say, friends who are 4 to 5 years older to you.
But then at that time I wasn't really competitive enough. I was just playing it for for the fun of it,
All
not really
right,
serious about it.
all right, perfect. So now you play as a defender, right? So why do you choose that position? Was there any particular day that you told yourself that okay, this is what I want to play as, or was there a coach who asked you to play it, or was there maybe a match that you watched and you said, okay, I want to be a defender?
Initially I was playing as a central defensive midfielder, but
Okay.
later on Satyajit sir had propounded me to play as a centre back because I had good defensive actions, anticipation, speed, strength, height, especially, as well as I had great leadership qualities. So then later on, I had also developed my long range passing ability, which had made me an ideal centre back. And later on, when I played this position, which was recommended by Satyajit sir, I also started getting interested to it because you get to guide the team and communicate with each and every one of the players.
All right. So now, initially, like you said, you used to play as a DM, a central defensive midfielder. So when you shifted, did you find the transition from changing from one position to another a little bit difficult? And at what age was that change made?
This change was made 2 years back, around 2 years back. The change wasn't that easy because it's from a midfield to a defense line.
Yeah.
So then it took me like 2 3 months to get to know how to play and where to play. I had also watched many center backs playing and then done many of the analysis of various center backs, and then later on realized my positional play, support play, and all that.
Okay. And like you said, because the transition was tough, during that mid phase between where you were told to play as a CDM and where you were learning, and then there, of course, you started playing as a center back. Did you find it difficult where sometimes you were forced, where sometimes you wanted to do actions that a CDM would do, but then you couldn't because you had to
Yeah,
change? Yeah, that's what I mean. Could we just speak
yeah.
about that as well?
When I was a CDM, I could go up and go for the second balls, take shots. But then in a centre back, you don't get that opportunity and that freedom. You got to stay back because you have more responsibility because you're not supposed to let the attacker score the goal. So
Yeah.
that was kind of difficult for me to like handle because I always used to get overexcited, go up and try score goals. But then later on, the coach suggested me and told me that this is not how you play as a centre back. You have to
Yeah.
stay down.
So that means like you had to change your positional discipline as well, right? Because
Yeah.
every position has a certain discipline to follow, and you had to change it
For,
as well, right? All right,
yeah.
perfect. So now, of course, now you said you've been playing from the age of 8, right? So could we talk about the tournaments that you've played from the age groups? Like maybe you played for Karnataka when you were 12 or 13, and could we speak about your pathway and your journey?
Yeah. My first ever club that I had played for was the YCL, which was conducted at FSV Arena.
Yeah.
Then I played the U13 and the U15 I League representing FAB. I had also played 2 consecutive seasons of the KSFA tournament in Karnataka representing FAB again. Later on, I had also played the Double Pass Development League, the Community League, as well as 2 seasons of the Goa Football Festival, the Goa Super Cup, as well as the Roots Football League.
Okay, so you play quite a lot of tournaments and you've been competitive,
Yes.
right? So could we
Yeah.
talk? So let's talk about competition. So what do you prefer? Do you play? Do you prefer having a kickabout with your friends, or do you prefer a competition where you actually get to showcase something? So what's your favorite? Yeah.
My favorite is obviously the competition because only when there's competition you grow, right?
Yeah.
When, I mean, you can play with your friends, but then I don't play with them like a lot because it's fun. Because and at the end of the day, you're gonna be the one facing it. So then at the end of the day, you're not supposed to regret of anything else. So then I be competitive when I go to these tournaments. Like it's not for fun. I take it
And,
seriously.
and also, like, do you find it difficult where sometimes when you're playing with your friends and especially now you're how old are you right now? 15 or 16, right?
15.
You're 15, right? So of course you're coming to the age where you're learning to be competitive as well. And do you think you find it a little difficult where even though you're playing a friendly game, but you get over competitive because that's what happens because during your pathway you said since the age of 8 to 9 or maybe 10 and 11, that's when your competition days started where you started competing against teams, against players, and you wanted to
Yeah.
grow. So like, do you know when to be friendly and when to be competitive, or is that a bit of a task for you? Because for me personally it is a task because I get over competitive.
Yeah, same thing. Like, for me, I just don't know how to play for fun because even when we are playing a normal rondo or even a foot tennis or something, I don't take it for fun. I mean, I play competitive to just win. Like, I hate losing. I just keep winning. So then, at that time, I don't really take anything for fun. So then, I
Yeah.
be overconfident.
Yeah, and was there any maybe so let's talk about your influences, right? So now you're talking about competition and let's stick to that and let's stick to your influences. So was there any particular person or maybe a role model that influenced you to be competitive at that level?
Like I don't have a particular role model because I don't like the idea of following someone and then following their path. So then
Yeah.
I'm influenced by different kinds of people. I just take the good from everyone and then make my own self, make myself unique.
All
So
right.
then I have Ronaldo, Sunil Chetri, Virgil van Dijk, and Eric Thomas as my influencers.
Okay.
Uh, Cristiano Ronaldo had been my initial influence for my consistency, work ethic, and discipline.
Okay.
Virgil van Dijk had also been my influence for my defensive actions because he's really good at defending as well as an offensive threat to the opponents also. My leadership qualities as well as my never give up attitude have been heavily influenced by Sunil Chetri. Eric Thomas was a former NFL player. My
Yeah.
perseverance had been influenced by him because at the age of 7 he used to do the extra drills to get into the NFL. So this pushed me harder and to go the extra mile.
Okay, perfect. Now you said that you've been influenced by so many people, right? Now, again, like you said, as when you were learning to play a defender, you were looking at players. So could we talk about some of the players that you learned from, and especially right now because considering that we are in the pandemic, this is the best time to actually use online streaming sites to learn something, right? So could we
Yeah.
talk about the players that you used to learn from? Of course, one you said was Virgil van Dijk, but regarding to your position,
Yeah, Virgil van Dijk is a center back, so I learned how to cover and how to keep my defensive stance, and then my recovery run and all that. Especially his anticipation is really good, which I admire and also try to implement. I would also uh, I would also be influenced by. I mean, I have also been influenced by Sergio Ramos because he's the most. He's the most frequent center back getting a red card, but he does that for his team. So then playing for the team is the first purpose. You never play for yourself. So that is heavily influenced by him.
All right, perfect. Now you are 15 and you are still in school, right? So you are what we call as coaches, we call you as student athletes because you're not completely an athlete because you're still in school and you have to complete your education. And especially that considering the culture that we follow in India, where education is really given of high importance. So could we talk about how do you manage being a student and how do you manage being an athlete as well? Because you have responsibilities on both your sides, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Studying and playing football, like, it isn't easy. It's, I mean, you have to get into an overdrive to achieve this. Like, you can't go and hang out with your friends and then sometimes go to their birthday parties, because you have to be focused in your path and then to your ultimate goal. So when I was managing football as well as my studies, my parents had been extremely supportive, motivating, and encouraging to me. Also, my school friends had helped me in my academics when I had tournaments such as the I League. And thankfully to them, I had got great marks in 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. And I'm very glad to have such wonderful parents and friends.
All right, so exactly like you said, because especially being a student athlete, you need a proper support system behind you. Because one, because you need the support of your parents, and because I always believe for any athlete, doesn't matter whether it's football, cricket, basketball, any athlete that wants to take on that journey and wants to become a professional, that their parents are one of the most driving figures to help them move forward, right? So could we speak about like not particularly from your case, but on a general way, how important the support system of a parent is in the journey?
Yeah. When parents starts discouraging you or something like that, like, you can still go on, but then it's very difficult for you to go on because you're in a very delicate state when you're studying as well as playing football,
But
because you
exactly,
don't have
yeah.
time to do anything else except these two. So when someone discourages you, then there's a chance of you quitting football or something like that. But then usually if parents start supporting and encouraging people, I mean, encouraging their son or daughter who's playing football. For in my case, my parents had hugely supported me when I had the maths exam. Like, usually when I have maths exam, I don't sleep throughout the night. Like, after the I League, for example, we finished our Boca match and then I immediately went home. My mom had prepared my question paper, like my practice question paper that I had written it. Uh, by this, I mean, we can realize that my mom had been really supportive and encouraging, because she told me that I can handle both studies and football. It's not that I just quit football and just keep studying all the time.
All right, perfect, perfect. Now, of course, now being an athlete, you will have a lot of coaches that have helped you along your path, right? So, could we speak about some of your favorite coaches and how they have influenced you? Whether it can be technically, it can be emotionally, and it can be mentally as well. Like, let's look at it from that way as well. And like, it can be one particular coach help you from football perspective, and another coach maybe help you from being a person, like being helping you grow as an individual. So yeah,
Yeah.
could we speak about those influences from your coaching
Yeah.
side? Yeah.
About 2 years ago, I had joined the Smart Sports Parenting Program, which aimed at improving my technical, tactical, physical, and psychological aspects.
Yeah.
This is where Satyajit sir and his team of coaches, as well as the FAB coaches, helped me transform. So I made it from the bench to a consistent starting 11 centre back within a span of 1 year. So then
Okay.
this was a huge breakthrough to me, and I was at my cloud nine at this moment. And probably, like, the favorite coaches that I have and who has helped me along the path was namely Shaji sir and Thomas sir, who had been introduced by Satyajit sir's program, which is the Smart Sports Parenting Program. Also, Shafiq sir as well as Narayan sir, who are the FAB coaches, namely the technical director and the HYD, the
Yeah.
HYD. So they had helped me a lot in my football, as they helped me to correct my technical aspects, tactical aspects, and also improve my fitness abilities.
Okay. And was there anyone that again helped you grow as a person, like who taught you life skills, who taught you how to be around people, how to be as an individual? Was there any particular figure out there? It can be your father, it can be maybe a coach as well.
Yeah, like, this is influenced by a lot of people. It comes from my parents, my friends, and as well as the coaches who trained me. Yeah, even my coaches such as Abdul sir, Nikhil sir, Gauri sir, and even Kiran sir sometimes, and South sir, and also my physio helps. I mean, helps me to like sometimes do something for fun, for your happiness, so that when you keep getting overexcited and too much, I mean, when you concentrate too much and get into it too much, then you don't enjoy the day.
Perfect.
So
Yeah,
then the
exactly.
enjoyment goes away.
Yeah, because I always believe that even top professionals, or even player, or even athletes or student athletes that are taking their path, needs to learn when to get out and when to stay away from the game as well, mentally especially, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, of course, let's talk about your future plans and what kind of a path are you looking to take in the coming future as well, because like again, like we are saying, you are a student athlete, right? So yeah.
Yeah. Like I plan to get into the Indian age group teams as well as the senior teams in the coming years. I also plan to get into the clubs of, I mean, any club participating in the I League, in like within 20 years or something like that.
Okay. And also, now, of course, now you said that you've watched players analyze, you've analyzed players and stuff like that. Could we talk about how important video analysis? Of course, I'm pretty sure that Fab does video analysis sessions with you guys
Yes, yeah.
individually and as a team, and they correct you again from a technical point and maybe from a tactical point. So first, could we talk about how important video analysis is for an individual and as a team? And could we talk about, and after that, let's talk about data, where data has helped all athletes and professionals move forward.
Yeah, the stats and analysis can be helpful for players as it gives them that cutting edge performance than their competitors, because it's really competitive outside, and as we go up the ladder, like the more up we go, or the more competitive it gets, then the less margin of competition it's gonna be. For example, I'm rated as 89, for example. Then there's another center back rated as 89. So then the coach has to select between me and him. So then the stats and analysis helps me to get that extra ingredient for me to play as a starting 11 than him. So this is one of the advantages of the stats and analysis.
All right, and the final question. So you've played a lot of sports in your life. Like one was, I was surprised when you spoke about the NFL as well, right? And also you said you used to play cricket as well. So could we talk about how different sports, the different sport that you've played, helped you be a better athlete as well? Because I always believe that an athlete can always learn something to the same sport that that they are good at from different sports as well.
Yeah, before taking football seriously, I used to play. I mean, I was a swimmer as well as a track and field runner, a 200-meter sprinter. So then
Yeah.
I was the gold medalist in the district level and also went to the state level in 200 meter. So then in the 200 meter, I had learned how to pick up my top speed and then improve my acceleration. So then this helps me as a center back, because as soon as I get beaten by an attacker, I can easily accelerate, catch him up, and then tackle the ball. So this helps me a lot, as well as swimming. In swimming, you have a lot of, I mean, you're supposed to have a lot of stamina, because I do the breaststrokes. Then in the breaststroke, you don't go much faster than the other strokes. So this is slow, but it needs a lot of energy. So this had improved my stamina in football.
Perfect, perfect. So that's what I mean. Like because you play different sports, right? You have engraved the ingredients of a different sport and the advantages of a different sport into your sport itself. All
Yeah.
right, perfect. Anyway, thank you, Nihaar. I hope you have a wonderful journey and a wonderful career in front of you. And yeah, thank you for your time. See ya.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.